Happy Saturday. Look at that cloud. Look at that cloud this morning. Let me slow this thing down and begin this easy meditative joke this morning. It is funny. This life, I love it. It's a beautiful morning already. So I'm just starting this day with a quick 26 miles. So I'm gonna do a little less tagging this morning. Just tag the people that I've been tagging. It's really funny because the sun is actually about to start rising, and you could kind of see that sun coming out. What is the art of running? So that sun is actually coming out, and actually really nice. Let me slow down. Oh, I tell you what, life. Yeah, life and its beauty. Interesting. Let me see this. Live at its best. Let's do this. I'm trying to oh, I tell you what, this is interesting. Yeah, what am I saying? My thoughts, where are they? Let me finish this real quick. Let me finish this real quick. So I got it now. Ooh, let me finish this real quick. And what is it? Happy Saturday. Believe it or not, I've actually been running a marathon every time I come out since, let me see this, since I don't know how you spell Nigerian. This is interesting. And let's do this properly. Yeah, I've been running. Every time I come out, I have been running a marathon. I'm just gonna leave that alone. Every time I come out. Nature at its best, shall I say. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. Every time I come out, it is a marathon. That's what I've just sort of been doing. I like the sounds of the birds as the sun begins to rise bit by bit. And it's funny how that when that sun rises, it's just really amazing too. I don't know what my thoughts are this morning, but I'm having fun. That's what I'm doing right now, just having fun and just embracing things. It's funny, the science of running, there's the skills that come into it that a lot of people have yet to remind themselves. Running a marathon is just like a little stroll. You know, how you move your feet, how you relax your whole body. And it's only due to some very simple things that we take for granted, and that is calisthenic push-ups and doing yoga at the same time. It's really funny how when you practice yoga, you have to do at least 50 to 100 push-ups during your yoga session. Because when you begin to do that, it'll really stretch out your spine, and you're able to grab your feet properly on the floor. Because a lot of us just run without really sinking in with gravity, and that's why we feel all those aches and pains, because the blood is not flowing the way it's supposed to. What is even funny is a lot of people are not even ready to listen. But the thing is, when you do your yoga and you do that 100 push-ups during your section, 50 to 100 push-ups, you get the proper stretching out. You don't rush to get into a pose. You are actually slowing down, because that push-ups that you did very slowly, and I'm not talking about the fast push-up, you have to do it very slowly, where you're actually using your breath to control the movement as you go up and down. A lot of times when you do your push-up like that, you're able to only do 10 push-ups at a go. And I think for a lot of people, it just sort of hurt the ego, because we always think that we have to do 100 push-ups a go. And a lot of times, that's just not how it works. Yeah. So, in a sense, yoga teaches humbleness, and yoga actually reduces the ego. So the more time you spend on the floor, the less of an ego you develop. Because to begin to practice love sometimes is actually very difficult. Sitting so much on a chair is just not doing it, because for some reason that floor, there's something about the gravity on the floor, and being able to sit on the floor and roll on the floor and do your stretches, it really create a sense of non-ego behavior. Good morning, have a great day. So which allows you to do anything. And that's the reason why a lot of people running is always going to be difficult for them, because they have yet to surrender to their higher self. And you could play the ego game with other people, but as long as you play that ego game with self, it is always going to be trouble. You're stressed out, you're just not happy, period. Because you leave, and the higher ego, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's just that, because it's confident, whatever word you want to call it. But overdoing it is what we do a lot of times, just because we don't roll on the floor. Most people don't even know what it feels like to just sit on the floor and just move their body and stretch it. Because that's where everything all started from. Gravity on the floor. A woman pulled you out, you're on the floor. When you first started crawling, you were on the floor. That's how you started from the beginning. That's how you learn how to walk. But because we don't focus on all those beginnings, we create this myth in our head about the beginning. So it's very difficult to actually understand the self, the beginning of self. Because the beginning of self is very unique. The beginning of self is what I call, many people will call the Word of God. Because once you begin to understand our own evolution from the beginning of the self to how we actually developed, we started crawling as a little baby, then we started letting gravity pull us, then one day we stood straight up and we begin to walk. And I think it's those simple things is what you get out of yoga every morning. So when you begin to do that, you realize you're less more egoistic. You are just on an easy mode. And it's really funny how a lot of people think, oh, I can't run a marathon. No. It's just we sit on top of our egos too much. So we never give our body any opportunity to get to know itself. A lot of people carry their beautiful body with them with very less attentive consciousness to the body. Most people don't even know how their body functions. It's just there. So what happens is, every time we always look for somebody to actually tell us about our body. Don't get me wrong, we need doctors and all that. But sometimes we have to be our own doctor. So you got to be balanced. You have to be your own doctor, then you have another doctor. So that's the balance of life. But many of us, all you have to do is pick up a book and just do your own research about your body, about spirituality. Everything, how everything collaborates, the moon, the stars, how things transpired. And you'll be really amazed what you actually get out of it. So, and that's why when I look at a marathon, I always think of a woman giving birth to a baby. Because to me, out of everything that I've been taught, that is the most powerful thing that I've actually seen in my whole entire life. And I will never forget that moment. And it's allowed me to want to get to know my body and be one with this thing called the universe, whatever you want to call it, God, energy. And once you begin to tap into that thing, you always want to vibrate from love and less ego. So that's what I'm thinking of on this 26-mile meditative jog this morning. I'm actually amazed, and because I got less than 15 or 16 more miles to go. That's really funny because it's just amazing. I'm literally almost halfway through, and that's what I've done all summer this year. So I think today is probably marathon 112. And it's just to show and inspire that anyone can do this. And it is all about the mind. Morning. That's what I call it. It's all about the mind. Once you know how to attend to your mind, you can really do anything. And a lot of times, once you begin to attend to your mind, you do what really makes sense. Because a lot of times, we don't really do what makes sense. We don't like to be in the present moment. We always look at other people's clock. And looking at other people's clock is what creates the dysfunctional, what I call the unchemical balance that we create within ourselves. So another beautiful Saturday morning to come out and just be one with this nature and just look at the trees and the energy that it vibrates from. Everything started out from here. Believe it or not, all your construction work, your engineering started from men coming, I would say men and women coming in here and just thinking on their feet. That's how all the creativity started. Because during movement, you begin to think about things. Thought comes in and out of your mind, and your subconscious mind begins to develop itself. I sound like I don't know what it is, but yes. Let me just stop it here and leave for some room for me to think more. But other than that, happy Saturday. Let me slow down so that I can get this thing done. Happy Saturday. I got up a little late. When did I get up today? I'm trying to think. I think it was about 3 o'clock. But 2:44 I said. Biscuit, I was late. So let me go ahead and finish this run, and happy Saturday and one love.